where can I pull people from?
I'm just a bit of a mess right now. Also, TF121, the guys that did that charity thing with, they've showed up today with a branch.
Okay, cool. We were in Hotel 1, sorry.
So we'll see how they go.
Potato, move up to Air Detachment XO.
Alright, I think I'm pretty happy. I think I can fill the, let's go have Pierce, have your driver from Gulf 1 come up to just regular Gulf section, and we'll be down in fucking Vic. I'm not gonna pull anyone from the infantry, and I'm gonna be good.
Alright. Hey, Kayak, pull up.
Hey, Myers, go to squad medic.
Alright, if you are just getting in, you are perfect timing. There is plenty of time to get into this thing and get started.
With both companies ready to go, let's go ahead and head on to map screen. We want to thank you all for coming out and
I don't know, Mox. I like being called a nerd, though, by you and Don.
We had a pretty good EU event, hoping to have a pretty good NA event as well. It's nice to see the numbers continue to flow in. Shout out to the shoutcasters who continue to show up and talk about us every Friday night. We must be entertaining for some reason. And it's just a shout out to all the communities that are represented, as well as the individual players, because without you, we would not be doing anything on a Friday night. I would be sitting looking at a very empty lobby, talking to myself and admiring my voice all by myself. So thanks for giving me a soundboard to shout at.
You have a lovely voice.
The pretty words mean nothing without the OnlyFans.
True.
Joke's on you, none of this is real.
The longer you wait, the less we'll become interested.
Damn. My AOL is acting up.
I don't know why everyone's obsessed.
Yeah, it's AOL. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. It's because there's
with Anderson's OnlyFans.
Anderson, get your mom off the phone so we can download faster.
We need Night Owl. Where are you, Night Owl?
Y'all remember Net Zero?
Hey,
oh god, don't remind me.
Netscape, Earthlink.
Night Owl's the guy with a really sexy voice. He also makes some really cool missions for FNF.
Anyone hearing that?
I'm trying to play RuneScape. Stop
At that time, Netflix was by mail DVD only.
Oh man, I remember that. I forgot that was a thing.
See, Anderson, if you got an OnlyFans,
I think they still provide that service though.
Yes, they do.
It's a different.
Well, you know, this is an idea. This is an idea. I could get an OnlyFans, and for these really slow mission loads, you can just subscribe and admire. You are some weird dudes.
The more we go without an OnlyFans, the less interested we're going to become, Anderson.
He's just waiting for Christmas, that way he can take it.
I think it is the opposite, because it's become a thing. It was like 3 people, now it's 100.
Do we want to do the map briefing now?
Back to 3.
I'm
FNF Battle Royale.
Yeah, let's have the map, like...
Are we also receiving mission file right now?
Yeah, we're also receiving the mission file, so
give it time to slow doing you too.
Yeah. I apologize. I made the mission too, and I'm only at 190 at 660. So.
Mission. Oh god.
Could do the
Take your notes, boys. Everyone shit talk this mission. It's already bad.
Oh my god.
We could do
really
the we could do the mission maker briefing.
Here we go. I can give you lore. We can give you all lore for this mission. All right, so.
We got some bullshitting going on the bottom left.
Oh, very good.
Do the map briefing.
Why are you stuttering? Are you nervous? Are you?
I keep getting talked over, man.
Well, you have priority speaker.
I do have priority speaker, but you all just continue to talk. All right, so it's Chernorussia. The Russians are doing a land grab for Chernorussia, so they are invading. The Chernorussians have slight early warning, but they're still kind of out of position. They're not really
one day
set
we'll
up
be
for
able
any
to load in.
fortifications or anything.
Let's
for
get
an
weird.
invasion.
I'm already getting weird. I'm trying to get Bart. I'll ask him. It's the first thing I'll ask him.
Invasion of Chernorussia.
I'm gonna tab out, make sure my plugins are off.
Can they withstand the onslaught?
We're good.
Who knows? Tune in tonight for FNF.
Oh my god.
Tune in next time.
Anderson,
based on Crimea.
Tune in if we'll ever get in.
I have a question.
This is taking a long time. Yeah, what's the question?
Is this lore friendly? Are we actually playing as CDF or are we CHDKZ?
I'm sorry, the Virgin train left 5 minutes ago. This is.
Time to get a combat jacket.
But no, the mission file took the same long time for EU as well for the first round.
I would say it took long.
Well, it's
Someone else
because
just see that vent? That dude vented. It was Liru.
Oh,
Liru vented.
Hey,
Liru out.
Anderson, buddy.
Yeah, how do I vent like Liru?
How do I vent?
I saw
Anderson, can you say Chernorussia again?
Chernorussia.
Bring it up, but like
Chernorussia.
Thank
you. Venting.
It's actually a Chernorussia, just like
no, he's right. I think he's right. Yeah.
Speaking of vents, remember when we used to have to use vent?
God. The meeting.
I saw him in electrical.
Found body in electrical.
I was too busy venting from electro to Cherno.
No, you didn't.
We're gonna have
No, so this is what sometimes happens when you have this many people on a server. It's split sending the mission file to everyone. Barb's stream died. Damn.
And only one imposter.
Oh, all in Arma.
Liru was ejected. He was an imposter.
What? No, what?
No.
Bye, Liru.
Why'd you all vote me?
No, see,
I mean,
I
know the mission's down already.
What are you still doing here, buddy?
Wow, it loaded.
I know, I'm not gonna lie, the mission file is pretty good. So.
It was Liru all along.
Guys, we didn't vote Liru.
You made me rage quit last time because of the bullshit you pulled. Never mind. I don't want to get personal. That was totally your fault.
Break.
Yeah,
why are they bringing this up in front of 130 people?
I'll tell you this wonderful mission as soon as I decide to load in. This is a rush game mode. There are 3 terminals that OPFOR needs to hack. It is sequential. N4 has to defend the terminals. If they fail to defend the terminals, they lose the mission. If N4 kills all of OPFOR, N4 wins. If N4 survives to the end of the mission, they win. If OPFOR hacks all the terminals before mission end, they win. If OPFOR kills all of N4 before mission end, they win. Any questions from our company leaders?
No questions. This is Chernorussia 2020.
Alrighty. Well, we spent a hell of a long time waiting on that loading screen, so let's go ahead and get started. Round 1 of FNF starts right now.
Oh shit! Wait, no, I gotta get in the right channel.
On the game. I got TeamSpeak turned pretty far up.
Crap. Okay, there we go.
I'm having that issue because I reconnected. I'm having that issue where I can't load into the server.
Ooh, well, I mean, try again, because that, the server literally booted it kilobyte by kilobyte for everybody.
Alright, I know they just went into T4, so maybe now. I'll try it one more time.
So, Chernorussia 2020, it's basically the Chernorussia for, whatchamacallit?
Cup, I think. It's a
yeah, but it's goddamn, it's the, DayZ map.
Oh, is it?
Except none of the structures are loading in for me. Oh, because I'm in the wrong spot of the map, that's why. Okay, I'm like, why? I thought I was in the AO. I'm like, why is there nothing here? What the fuck? But yeah, no, it's, I think they're still like, they're manually placing all of it and finishing it that way, so. That was interesting. I'm like, why? Where is everything? What happened? Ah!
I had this issue last time when I had to reconnect. I started my stream, but it was dying right out the gate.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I had internet troubles for the first EU round, so makes sense.
Problem is you got them fixed. I can't even get in the server. I'm gonna restore my Arma entirely.
Yeah, I mean, you got time. You got time. Yeah. This is 2020, not Redux. Fun fact: my DayZ base was right here for when we had it on Sniper Wolf's server. We took about this big area. I didn't like it. I was with Outcast. Outcast's like, yeah, this is a great Overwatch point. I'm like, dude, this is a great way to get fucking spotted. And
so, how's it looking?
I think Falcon eventually did find it. And I had to shoot him. So I'm reminiscing over when we were on the DayZ server, and I just outlined where my base was, but that server doesn't exist anymore. So, GREENFOR, they've got 2 BRDMs, the BTR-70 as their main advantages, but they also have plenty of transport VIX. OPFOR, meanwhile, if I can click over there, cool. They have that MI8 transport. It does have door guns though. 12.7. No, these might be 7.62 actually. 7.62 coaxial on the left side and the rear. They've got 2 BTR-80s, 2 BRDMs, and they have some gas transports to transport. If I remember correctly, like 7 guys total. 3, 6, 7. There's 8 chairs in there, but I know one of those seats is bugged, so it can only bring 7 people at a time. A little bit of lightning, a little bit of dark lighting here. I kind of like that, but still easily visible. And we'll just have to see how everything goes. I mean, GREENFOR has 3 terminals to defend. They've all spawned at the first terminal to make that defensive line a little bit easier, but we'll see where they decide to put their last stand, if they will either stay and try to hold Terminal 1, or if they'll try to pull back and make additional defensive lines. Honestly, Terminal 1 site itself doesn't look too bad. In fact, this map added quite a bit of trees to this AO compared to DayZ. So, a little bit of concealment to get on top of it, but it's, you know, a lot of defensive positions are back here. I think it could work out quite well. Also, I'm happy I'm not seeing any unit desync, which means my internet has stopped deciding to hang itself. But either way, let's go ahead. Before we look at the 2 other terminal sites, let's look at the, we'll start with GREENFOR since we're here. Always remember, guys, the little number notifications and whatnot. If you see an A, a B, or a C by themselves, that is the squad leaders for Alpha Bravo Charlie, Delta Echo Foxtrot, or even Gamma. If you see PLT1 or PLT2, that is the 2 different platoons. Platoon 1 handles Alpha Bravo and Charlie. Platoon 2 handles Delta Echo Foxtrot. And then you have the CMD, which is the command group. Also, fun fact about the platoons, they also each have a marksman in them, so you might see platoon guys running off on their own. That's because they have a marksman rifle. Usually it's some sort of 7.62 rifle with an MOS scope from vanilla. And then if you ever see any Gammas, those are your dedicated vehicle crew. And then if you have Foxtrots, Foxtrot's the weapon team for Platoon 2. If you see any hotels, those are pilots. Now, other fun things to note, Foxtrot is a weapon team, so the 2 squads they have are actually usually machine gunner teams for both of those. So in this case, for Independent, it's a PKP. For GREENFOR, for Red 4, it's usually also a PKP, but sometimes you see that weapon change here and there. For example, last round, the machine gun teams were MG42s for one of the rounds of EU. But the interesting thing is Charlie for GREENFOR and OPFOR are also weapons teams, but Charlie 1's a machine gun team, but Charlie 2 is a mat gunner team. And I'm trying to see, Eander is the AT guy for this team, but I actually don't see his launcher. So I'm not sure if they removed it or if it's hidden right now, but usually they're given either RPG-42s, Carl Gustavs, sometimes you see a Metis, a Stainer, a Javelin, or a Titan. I would imagine he'd have an RPG-42 for this one, but I don't physically see his launcher, so that's a little concerning. But let me look at the other AT guys for GREENFOR. They're going to be given RPGs, which are reloadable, so at least the squads have a good AT at the squad level. But let's go ahead and look at OPFOR. I'm willing to bet we're going to probably see near identical weaponry for OPFOR. We see the RPGs. We see PKMs for the squad level machine gun. If we go to Charlie 2 here, their AT is also, so there's the RPG-42 right there on the OPFOR guy. So I'd assume GREENFOR is the same way. And then if you look at Charlie 1, that one is only 2 guys. They don't actually have the machine gun weapon. I don't see a Foxtrot, so no machine gun teams for OPFOR. Interesting enough. But then again, they don't really need it that much because they've got 4 big support fire weapons with the 14.5mm on the BRDMs and BMPs. Or excuse me, BTRs and BRDMs. GREENFOR has the same thing there, but they just have 1 less, and they have a BTR 70 and 780, but there's not that much of a difference between a 70 and an 80. 60s is a big difference because their armor is a lot more thin compared to the 70s and 80s. Also, a 60 can easily get destroyed by a few HEDP grenades. A lot less compared to 70s and 80s, but you normally don't see 60s used in FNF. I think the one major difference I am noticing, though, is GREENFOR appear to have AKM-based weaponry, so 7.62 ammunition, whereas Red 4 has 5.45. So GREENFOR guns are going to hit a little more powerfully here. But if I were to look at the marksmen on each group, it looks like both are going to be rocking SVDs with MOSs. I just saw one on OPFOR and, GREENFOR, and now I'm going to check platoon on Red 4 if I can find one. I don't see second platoon live for Red 4, so that's little in they're all the way on the bottom. All right, and then yeah, they also have marksmen. So this is going to be pretty much a mirror match with some slight advantages going to GREENFOR for caliber, but Red 4 has an extra 14.5mm /7.62 coax. But also GREENFOR has the sky. Red 4 has the sky with the helicopter, and we'll see how that lands. Anyway,
metal bird.
Yeah, right. It's honestly just a flying coffin with all those.
That is a huge safe start area for GREENFOR.
14.5mm. Yeah, no, they get the entire freaking map to set up. So AO number 2 is in the middle of an enterable church building. Not a bad choice. I could easily, if they have a fortified tool, they could definitely make this into a bit of a perimeter, but it's gonna be a little hard to manage because it's right next to a hill that gives OPFOR a lot of concealed cover. That's not a good word to use. It basically gives them a lot of defilade cover to move up on this position. So it's a good spot. I like it. If GREENFOR has fortified tools, they could use that to kind of make this AO a bit better, but otherwise not much is going to be done for that one. Then we have Terminal 3, which is in the little military base that was tacked on in DayZ. This one I kind of like as well. No, I don't. I take that back. I thought it was more towards the center. Instead, it's in a building. It's in a radar building on its own, right next to, again, on the top of a giant hill. If anything, this... Yeah, no, I mean, this would classify as a hill, but a lot of concealment is here for OPFOR to move up on it. And honestly, once they get that close, it's going to be a bit too late. So out of all of these AOs, I kind of like Terminal 1 the most, because at least you can make a perimeter out of this. But even then, there's so many forested routes to come in on. If you want more open areas, Terminal 2 is a bit better, but you're going to have to set some people up to overwatch these open areas. Otherwise, it's going to turn into either a rush through the open fields or an urban push. So... I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be tough for... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm a bit more partial to Terminal 2 because of that urban writing. That kind of close quarter stuff almost always favors a defending force, so I think it'd be very beneficial to them. I wouldn't so much say, like, you know, abandon 1 and just stack 2, but I feel like if they play 2 right, they can let that last for a long, long time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think this could go either way. It's going to be really up to OPFOR to utilize their tactics here. They do have some armored gases, too, so that can really help them rush, but at the end of the day, it's going to be up to tactics here. I could very well see OPFOR rushing with the team in an MI8 into a terminal site, or at least to scout one out. Terminal 2 would probably be the best one to do any sort of scouting information on, since it's tied to a really big town. But we'll have to see. Definitely. If I was... Go ahead.
The 14.5s on the BRDMs and the BTRs, whatever.
If you do exclamation point mission, it'll tell you the bigger assets.
Gases, but more small arms fire, infantry arms can't. So that's going to be the counter for N4 to utilize against that invading Russian force.
Mm-hmm. If I was in independent shoes, I would send units out to go tell me what was at Terminal 2 or Terminal 3, or hell, I'd probably go out myself just to look at it and then make the plan. But in GREENFOR's shoes, when you're given 3 objectives, you generally don't want to spread your forces across all three. Since it's a wave terminal, meaning OPFOR can only take Terminal 1 first, then 2, then 3, you don't have to have all of them evenly defended, but I would definitely have a defensive garrison at Terminal 1, and I don't know. Alright, righto, Barb. You can always tell me, you know? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No, it's fine. So Barb is having some troubles. He's going to restart his computer, and he'll be back with us momentarily.
I'm going to Brazil.
He's apparently going to Brazil. All right, so again, as GREENFOR command, if I was in his shoes, I would pick 2 AOs. Normally, when you have a wave defense like this, you usually mount a big defense at Terminal 1, and then you have a skeleton crew at Terminal 3, and maybe 1 or 2 guys at Terminal 2. Same with sectors that are done in order, just to kind of prevent insta-back capping to be made. Because you got to remember, GREENFOR loses if either they lose all the terminals or they get completely wiped. But OPFOR can gain a lot of ground if they back cap, meaning they have people by Terminal 2 and Terminal 3, so then when they take Terminal 1, they can immediately take Terminal 2 and then immediately take Terminal 3 after that. But with these terminals here, it's going to be about 90 seconds after someone interacts with it to initiate a hack, quote-unquote, and then after that time, 10 to 15 seconds will go by, and then a GBU will spawn over the terminal, making an explosion, and the terminal, since it doesn't have a destroy texture, will do a hide text animation to simulate, you know, it's self-destructing, which is cool. So we see Independent pulling some forces back here, but how much is the real question? We have a single guy going back with a truck. We have Command also going by in a truck. I'm wondering if my pluses are being wonky here. I'm gonna hit O real quick. Yeah, no, so my plus is normally I get a plus and then how many people. I'm also having my names glitch out. That's an occasional glitch with spectator mode. Usually restarting doesn't fix it, though. It just decides to be that way for the mission files. So we're not going to know individual number counts. I apologize for that, guys, but I don't know. We'll see. It looks like GREENFOR is actually holistically abandoning Terminal 1. That's not what you generally want to see, but I guess they want more time to defend the other areas, thinking that this one isn't a good spot to defend. But at the same time, it is one of the better picks, in my opinion. Now, another thing you can do, especially with terminals, is everyone gets a pop-up when the terminal's been hacked. So terminals are the best objective to make explosive traps with. And I know this building, I think this building has a destroyed texture, and the terminals don't have gravity, so I hope this building's been set to invincible, because if they wanted to make an explosive trap, they could blow this building up and technically deny that terminal. They'd have to, like, drive a vehicle under it to then hack it to continue the game, which would be a bit gamey, but also, you know, not that many people understand the meta of Arma, so I could see that being a potential issue. But back to my point, if someone puts an explosive satchel, like, on the radiator in the corner or behind the terminal or, like, you know, in the back corner where this door opens and they get the pop-up, they could det that charge and get a few free kills, and free kills can pretty much make all the difference here. But the round has begun. We have the BRDMs taking the far left and right corners of AO1. I don't know what they're gonna be looking for. This is Boston and Oscar, 2 good players in FNF, and we also have Dooley and Bay in the other one. Bay, I would argue, is one of the best players here, but they might hear the helicopter coming around. Maybe they're helicopter hunting, because those 14.5 millimeters as the primary gun can do a significant amount of damage. Now, if we were to look at the helicopter, though, I can tell based off of who's in here, they've got looks like a pilot and 2 gunners, so Homebrew, I would bet, is flying. And then Potato, who's a newer member of TSB, and then Photonic, he's, I think, just a rando. They might try to do a false landing over here to try to throw GREENFOR off. That's a tactic you see a lot with pilots, because GREENFOR will see the helicopter landing and think, oh, they're going to deploy troops right there, when in reality, it's just to pull units off of their defenses to go engage the helicopter team, or at least pull eyes away. But instead, OPFOR is opting for a pincer maneuver here. Looks like it's going to be a northern and southern pincer, or this team is going to start going to AO number 2. Also, we're seeing GREENFOR take the rail station to potentially set up a defensive line between this AO and the next. These aren't always 100% effective. Looks like someone got armored here. Oh, their truck got armored, definitely. Probably on the railways here, but I'm always against these types of defenses because sure, it's in between terminal sites 2 and 3, but these guys are still way out of position to really cover either side. So OPFOR, you know, in vehicles could just drive around that spot. We've seen commanders pick this type of strategy before, but I've never seen it really successful. I don't know what's that, but let's keep it to the stream. So anyway, we have a BRDM that's gone to the far top left corner. I guess they're holding this in reserve to potentially hit OPFOR in the backline. We have another BRDM, though, high up. They know that helicopter's there. I'm wondering if that... we might have that BRDM start engaging it, because there's nothing that MI8 can do to it. But it looks like the gunner of this BRDM is having a little bit of optic trouble. You gotta remember, these guys are locked to first person, both as infantry and in vehicles. So, the scope on it, which is right here, can easily lose track of a helicopter. But I would say they had a good shot. They didn't take it, though, and now you have OPFOR flying over this position, trying to get some scouting data for the OPFOR's pincer attack here. Which looks like it's going to be a southern-western pincer. Not a bad strat. But if you notice, the western side has all this forest to go up to it, but I think these guys are going to push a little more, possibly go north, but they just don't know that this entire area doesn't really have anyone because GREENFOR has decided to pull back. But that's part of the game. The fog of war is very, very real in this style of game. Then we got an OPFOR guy AFK. Amazing. So OPFOR, they left a skeleton crew back. Nemesis is among them. Again, one of the really devastating players in FNF. Can do a lot of damage if you let him get behind you. But I want to see what gun he's rocking because... he's one of the marksmen. Alright, usually you see him take a machine gun or a marksman role. Rarely do you see him take anything else, but I have seen him be a medic once. And GREENFOR is going to have a random sentry group potentially find... OPFOR is advanced. Now, OPFOR has decided to dismount here, so that two-man GREENFOR team won't really last long, but there's also a lot of concealment in the way. I don't think GREENFOR is going to spot that. But that might potentially be where first contact is. Also, you have this BRDM right here. It has command in it. I mean, that would be really bad if GREENFOR had this RPG and they took out the command vehicle. But I think they're going to spot this. If not, the BRDM is definitely going to spot the infantry when they cross. But, I mean, potentially GREENFOR, when they get up to here, are going to hear the Vic. I mean, they got a really good sight line on the right. They just heard the helicopter, though, so they slowed down because it flew over their heads. But I think this is a very... Oh my god, they're not even gonna... Look both ways before you cross the street. Look both ways! Oh, you medic rascal, you. You... Dude. Yeah, that's a BRDM. Dude. BRDM's just staring at him like, hey, how you doing? AT, what are you... Oh my god. Guys. This would have been they would have literally killed OPFOR command here, but these are GREENFOR guys. They PID'd that. This guy's gonna get the fuck out of here. But what? Who is this? Alright. Oh, I know Poe knows better, but I don't know that guy too much. But wow, so there was an opportunity here to kill commands, but this is why, regardless of where you are in the AO, you always need to keep looking left and right. Keep your head on a swivel, because there are so many crazy things that happen in Friday Night Fight where it just shows you the fog of war. But if GREENFOR managed to take out Red 4 command right then and there, GREENFOR would have had a significant advantage going in, because you kill the commander, then the platoons are kind of left to fend for themselves, and it can completely disorient an attack force, especially this early on in the fight. That would have been devastating, but and they waddled away, waddle. Now they're getting with T4 Herb, probably going to report that BRDM. T4 Herb, he's one with T5 Bay, again, really strong players. Also has AT, could potentially go hunting here, but I just cannot believe that squander right there. Now, the two GREENFOR guys, they didn't see this massive force, so they don't know that that's part of the pincer, but I'm curious to see, are these guys going to go hunting now for that BRDM, or are they going to keep walking back to AO number 2? You have the helicopter over here. It is flying high. I doubt they're looking at the map border here. Oh yeah, no, the BRDM hears that. But I wonder if Homebrew spot. I think he's still circling around trying to just see where Independence Force is. But I trust Homebrew to be able to get it, communicate with his chopper gunners to try to get any recon data here. But I mean, they got vehicles pushed out, but nothing concrete. But OPFOR could always take some of these and use it for themselves. But looks like this GREENFOR force still pulling away. I just cannot believe that happened. But you know what? That's why I like Friday night fights. We witness some really crazy things in this community. Yes, you could call it that. I mean, it's more so a collection of communities. FNF is its own entity. It has its own people. But honestly, what makes FNF great is all of the community representation from all across Arma. I can officially say from places like BIA to StarSim. Because we do have some 501st people in here, and I saw some CT tags, which is the telltale for clone troopers. CT, clone trooper, makes sense. That's how they do their rank structure. Just looking at the roster here, seeing a lot of recognizable names here. A lot of veterans, but also a lot of new guys. Got Whale also back. He was banned for a week because he ran someone over on purpose, and you're not allowed to do that here. Because realistically, if you were, then someone in a Gaz that was armored could literally just run over an entire infantry squad. But I'm going to be really curious to see what this 4-man team does. I don't see an engineer with them, so I doubt there's an explosive trap, but an explosive trap would be amazing to get a few free kills to help nullify the 10-person advantage that OPFOR has for this operation. But since these guys are pushing the southern pincer, it's still on hold because these guys haven't found any resistance yet. There's no need to close the pincer if there's nothing to close it on. So instead, these guys can mount back up and start attacking Terminal 2, where the real fight is going to begin. I really do not like the amount of forces that are in between Terminal 2 and 3 that are deployed. I get they're all on the tree line kind of looking out, but why have them here when the objective is in town, you know? Have them garrison a building or two. Or add them to this perimeter, because OPFOR could easily overwhelm these positions, and as long as they're staying mobile, they can just get in the vehicles and move out. So I don't really like GREENFOR's defensive strategy here, personally. Righto, Barb. I hope your computer's okay. I mean, I hope it is. That's the computer I paid for. What did you do to my baby? So chat, help me out here. What are your thoughts? Because got a little bit of a quiet round one. I'll be curious to see what this BRDMs does, but there's the timer going for the first one. We still have these 4 guys over here. Looks like a little bit of activity, but even though they've got Nemesis, I don't really think that there's going to be able to do much here. F for the computer, yeah, right? I already had a few squanders, but I don't get why these guys... Ooh, what was that? That was a random tracer by Night Owl, Mr. Sexy Voice. And that actually flew close to where GREENFOR was, so... I was thinking maybe OPFOR is going to react to it, or at least ask what that was, but I think Night Owl quickly went on the net and said misclick, but yeah, I mean, these 4 GREENFOR guys, I think they're banking on a Vic being left here to possibly move behind the OPFOR push. Maybe GREENFOR has all these guys in reserve to try to get behind OPFOR lines once the attack starts, but we'll have to see how things go. Meanwhile, OPFOR, let's see, this is Myers spotting Bluck. We're seeing some blood right here. So some good security pull, but Bluck's going to have to get out of that building because it's about to explode. So they know that Independent is around. Bluck's probably going to call that in, and then, you know, it's going to go up the chain, and they're going to know there's Independent guys here. But at the same time, I think they'll be able to infer that it's only a small force because otherwise they'd be actually defending. So there's the explosion. Looks like Bluck's okay, but yeah, that's the GBU spawning in, and then the terminal disappears, quote unquote. I know, exactly. The forces between Terminal 2 and 3 can be used to maneuver, but at the same time, I've seen this strategy done time and time again in FNF, and they're never used to maneuver. Instead, they're usually just bypassed, and they don't maneuver in time because the coordination through communication disappears. But now OPFOR, you're going to start seeing them pull away. Only one firefight happened between 2 dudes. It wasn't even a firefight. It was just one guy shooting at another dude, and that's it. So I think Independent's just kind of stalling for a little bit of time here, but we're going to start seeing Homebrew fly the helicopter over this open area. I'm going to put my render distance up, and you see it immediately get capped back. So this is the render distance that the players have as well, and it's not that good. I mean, again, this is why I don't like the recon strategy here, because these guys also have a limited render range, and they can only see so much. So BRDM has moved to the south, and we have the other BRDM still in the top left corner. I'm sure Independent has a few tricks to play with those BRDMs, which is why they're keeping them far off on the reserve, but I don't know. And then we have just some hidden AT guys. I guess they're just waiting to hear OPFOR advance, maybe to possibly blow their vehicles up in transit, which, to be honest, that would actually be a really good guerrilla tactic. Predict the routes they're going to take and then put an AT guy in the path to hit a transport or one of their BTRs. That would be a viable strategy, but just there's so much everywhere. It's hard to try to see what Independent's doing. You know? We'll say definitely an unorthodox strategy, but I'm waiting to see, you know, how it's going to close down. Helicopter doing another pass around. I don't know. I'm stunned because, again, like, the actual units around the terminal for defense is super low. OPFOR is going to focus on that. If I was OPFOR, I'd probably, again, take the northern approach, maybe get into the town right there, or try to get in the edge of the buildings over here and then come in, and then maybe that's when Independent will send units. But at the same time, when I look over here, I'm seeing trenches dug. I'm seeing people in buildings making firing lines here. I'm not really seeing any evidence of anyone trying to be mobile. Rather, just people kind of being sneaky and holding their sectors. You know, maybe this group to watch for a wide flank. But at the same time, at least to hit Terminal 2, there's no reason to go up in this forested area. I think they're just trying to plan ahead for Terminal 3. But again, if I'm OPFOR and I have a helicopter to scout for me, at least for Terminal 3, I'd literally send it up here and ask my pilot, hey, do they have good sight lines? Because I'd push my units down here. Go up the hill. I don't know. OPFOR... I don't fault OPFOR for being too cautious here. because they have no idea where GREENFOR is. They don't know where GREENFOR is going here. I don't know. It's tough. But we see them remounting. They're going to back off on this little airstrip. Actually, no, this is a shooting range. Oh, yeah, no, definitely a shooting range. Because you have the little shooter spots right there. I almost call it a little airstrip, but they're going to back away and I guess come around and possibly hit it from the north. We do have a BTR over here as well, overwatching from the north, I guess to cover any advances here, but it could easily be caught out of position. And we got this southern group also chilling. BRDM is being mobile now for GREENFOR. Honestly, the best time for it to strike would be now, but GREENFOR has no way of calling that in, so I think they're going to try to back hit a few guys, but it's not going to be in vain here. Gonna go where that helicopter just flew over. Again, Homebrew's gonna go over and he's not really gonna see much. You know, nothing in terms of dismounted vehicles, nor just any infantry movement. Just gonna seem dead, but this has to make OPFOR Command wonder where the forces are, because they haven't seen that much. Yeah, no, so OPFOR, the reason they did a wide flank is, again, they don't know where GREENFOR is. They knew they had one guy fight another guy over here, but they're thinking they're either in defenses or in little cells walking around, but Homebrew just did a flyby over Terminal 2 and didn't see anything. That doesn't mean they're not here, because this is a big-ass urban area. He might have also been able to spot that truck, or at least one of his gunners did, but GREENFOR, they're doing a good job hiding, admittedly, and that's making OPFOR play it a lot safer, which is eating the clock, but my only guess here is Independent's plan was to give up Terminal 1, get a, like, maybe do some light harassment, and then do some rough fortifications of... Heck's going on over here? Oh, he's shooting out windows. That's what he's doing. Shooting out the top windows so the bullets don't get skewed when he fires out. But keep all his force for Terminal 2 and 3, and then hold OPFOR for time in Terminal 2 and 3. A good strategy, but it also... I personally don't like it, because that just means there's a lot of walking around and doing nothing when, you know, we want to pew-pew our guns here. But it's a winning strategy. It's going to force OPFOR to be cautious, wondering where GREENFOR is, to eat up even more time on the clock. And then OPFOR is going to have to rush the rest of it, because there's only about 35 minutes left on the clock, I think. So almost half the time's been eaten. So we'll have to see how things go. Hey, Clown, how you doing? Long time no see. How's the 5-0 doing? Now, I'm curious here if these 4 GREENFOR guys are going to run into that southern OPFOR flank, which they might misinterpret as the OPFOR guys they found earlier, but it's going to be up to OPFOR to be pulling rear security, because honestly, if these guys could catch one of the teams of OPFOR out of position and shoot them in the back and pull away, that could be devastating. But we also have the command BRDM here, and it's going to pull up. Do any of these guys have AT? No. Oh, I mean, they've got GLs, but that's not going to do too much damage, because I doubt they have HEDP. They don't, actually, because it's OPFOR base gear, so there's nothing they can do about that. So again, the command BRDM being super close to bad guys, but nothing can be done. And GREENFOR BRDM pulling by OPFOR spawn. I guess just to chill. Maybe they can coordinate with that BRDM to come in the rear and hit it, but I think GREENFOR is going to miss this entire OPFOR push. Yeah, no, they're looking in opposite directions. They might have heard the BRDM drive, but I think this is going to be another miss here. My fear, though, is these vehicles coming around, they might get caught out of position by this BTR 70's 14.5mm. That could do some serious damage, but you do also notice that OPFOR, they are reconning with the BRDM, which is a good call. But We're probably gonna have
Hello?
O'Neal. Hey, Barb. We're probably gonna have O'Neal get caught out of position here by GREENFOR, but there's a little bit of defilade covering the way. I think O'Neal will spot them first. No, they're gonna go. It's gonna be taken to the low grounds here. But right here, O'Neal. Hopefully, like they're literally gonna walk right in front of him. O'Neal. 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 Oh my God.
Damn it. Damn it.
Dude, he's literally gonna walk right. He's like, wait a second, you're a GREENFOR guy. What's going on here? Is there guys behind him? No, all right, I'm gonna go shooting. There's a third guy.
Just landed a great shot on the G2 BTR. Joined
nice.
Right, exactly the right
hold
time.
On, no, hold up, fucking O'Neal's following
BTR's
them now. BTR for OPFOR is cooking off. Ouch. So yeah, the loose tactic they're doing is working here. But hold up, I'm following O'Neal here. This is actually amazing.
Yeah, those two crews did not.
Wait, hold up! Independent guy just turned around and spotted O'Neal. Nemesis spotted him and just took him out. I was wondering because I knew Nemesis was a part of this group. I'm like, I know Nemesis is smart enough to actually look around once in a while. Thankfully, he proved that. Gets the double tap to make sure he's dead, and O'Neal disconnects. Oh my God. O'Neal should have taken it when he had the chance, but unfortunately, TSB wins again. What?
This.
What?
The thing that just happened.
So O'Neal, okay, actually real quick, Platoon 2 HQ, Twig King just, shout out some disconnects of the BTR. Other BTR is firing though, that's, Pearson Friends. We gotta see if, Herb can reload that rocket and get back and hit that other BTR. But to explain what happened, oop, Wreck just got tapped by the, other team here as, let's see, Twig King's trying to take cover. That 14.5mm can pierce, so he's going to go a little high here to try to stay away from it. But O'Neal lagged behind because he had to go AFK, comes back, and then he runs right behind Independent. And then he checks behind him because it's only a two-man team at that point. And then a third Independent guy comes around. Also doesn't notice O'Neal, so O'Neal starts following behind. I think that third guy was Nemesis, because eventually Nemesis turned around and saw O'Neal. He was walking towards him within like 10 meters, and then Nemesis just raises his gun and just mag-dumps O'Neal with an SVD. So O'Neal had a perfect opportunity to fuck him up, but thankfully the shit we teach in TSB actually sticks.
Yeah. Meanwhile, over on the western side of the town, one BTR is down and its crew dismounted and ate the cook-off.
Yep,
so
but
down.
we have
Second one is retreating, but the AT guy is out of rockets. They have no AT to deal with this now.
Boston with the BRDMs coming around. They're probably going to go hunting for that BTR. They are the more mobile vehicle. They could catch this BTR out of position because it's trying to pull away, but so far OPFOR is down a guy who got left behind, and they're down a BTR, and it looks like the two pincers they were securing are going to regroup, but right next to that BTR-70, though that BTR-70 only has sightlines on the objective, it's not actually looking behind it. If they had someone dismounted pulling 360 and they noticed that large group of OPFOR coming by, that could be huge. But now we have the BRDM chasing down the BTR. Except the BRDM looks like they just broke off, possibly losing sightlines.
Yeah, I think they lost the trail, and they don't expect it to run through the forest.
No, they're turning left again. They might have just caught it.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to tell because there's only a driver and a gunner in there, and
the
neither.
The BTR is slowing down. It's getting caught up in the trees.
They could still catch it out of position. That 14.5mm would be devastating. By the way, I think Homebrew Cocaine and the MI8 found the other BRDM by T5 Bay.
BRDM is staying at the edge of the tree line and it's looking.
Yeah, it's looking, but the BTR is pulling away.
Yeah, there's way too much tree cover. It's not going to see it.
Now, I wonder if they're going to go following. They got to be careful, though, because if that BTR goes too far up north, it's going to join its infantry escort. That's the entire...
another...
Hold up, we got the northern pincer. It's now pulling to the right. We're going to see another two-pronged attack from the west and northeast, but the BRDM is deciding to risk it for the biscuit and try to find that BTR, but...
And that's command, too.
Oh, dude, you missed it. The command BRDM for OPFOR could have been blown up at like right at the get-go by 2 GREENFOR guys, but they didn't look both ways before crossing the street. And the BRDM spotted them and just ran away because they saw one of them with AT.
Yep, that's exactly what you should do.
We would be seeing a completely different match if some people actually looked around. Like Nemesis. Be like Nemesis. Nemesis is able to kill people because he actually looks around once in a while. If you don't...
Looking ahead... oh, go
yeah.
ahead, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Looking ahead to
Nemesis.
I love what they've done as far as defensive line. They've set up a very wide perimeter. Not stretching it too thin, but putting, the important people in strategic places. I'm seeing them put AT up on the higher ground and just really covering this entire area. So I think they might fall back in Terminal 2 soon.
I wish they used the fortifications on Terminal 2, but... Again, I've been struggling to try to figure out what GREENFOR's plan is, because they've been really sporadic. It's been working for them. OPFOR has been very uniform with his pushes, but GREENFOR's just been super spread out and sporadic, and... Yeah, it's gotten them a free BTR kill. It's gotten them a free infantry kill, because the infantry decided to follow the wrong team for a while to be sneaky, but... OPFOR, I think, just fired some flares over the Terminal 2 site, trying to get their attention, trying to get something to shoot at them so they can get any sort of recon data. Ironically, the 2 pincers are going to be away from the GREENFOR BTR-70. I was expecting OPFOR to go up to this forge to stage to then push, but they're going to play this a lot more cautious. But if they keep playing it cautious, we could see the 15-minute timer go off in 6 minutes now. So... That's probably how GREENFOR has been playing it, if you ask me, though. Force the other team to then rush towards the end. Meanwhile, I mean, you still have almost all... No, actually, GREENFOR has all of their guys.
They haven't lost a single man?
GREENFOR has not lost a single man. Meanwhile, OPFOR has lost a man and a BTR and its crew. Meanwhile, BRDM pushing ahead, not realizing that OPFOR is right there. I'm trying to see AT pull out. Whoa, they just stopped right in front of an OPFOR guy, and I think the driver just noticed. But they've got a command BRDM right behind them.
They don't know.
They don't notice, though, so they're going to start suppressing the infantry. Command BRDM could turn around and start firing.
RPG is taking aim. SBC Iggy has that RPG-7. It's taking aim, but the BRDM is fucking off.
Yep, you have a 2-man GREENFOR team in a large building also firing up in that position. GREENFOR BRDM driving around now.
Oh my god.
Found another infantry group. Look at the RPG guy. He's like, wait a second. Hold on.
They don't see him.
Is that?
They think it's theirs.
Yeah. Hey, look, guys. Our BRDM's here.
Because it came from behind them.
We did it.
Behind the barn.
Oh my god. Oh my fuck. No. No. Hey guys, is that friendly? Hey, are you friendly?
He sees that one, and he sees that they're not worrying about it.
They're so like, yep, no, dude, wait, RPG's going out.
He's not sure.
He doesn't look.
He's not aiming at that.
What is this? That's an enemy. Come on, Perkins. I know you're a PV2, but please.
Oh, and now it's opening fire. Nope, RPG's going out.
No, but it's shooting outwards. They're confused as shit right now. What? What?
And like, it's... Platoon 2 HQ is shooting at it.
Now they're firing at the wheels. Where's the RPG shot?
Are they afraid to fire the RPG because it's too close? No, there it is.
Oh my god.
And yeah, both of them are dead.
What's that? My chat's going, I don't ever want to hear people talk shit about TSB again after seeing this.
Fucking god.
I'm not gonna lie. Independent almost got away with that, and that's kind of scary.
I don't know why the BRDM didn't shoot them. At least shoot the AT guy, and then.
Well, no, he wanted to see if he could get away with it and just blend in with them. But at the same time, just.
But then they opened fire on the command team that was over here by their BRDM.
I don't know. My brain hurts. Meanwhile, T5 Bay's BRDM coming out on the far flank could catch the other BTR in position. They are firing, and there are units turned out on top. I just saw a headshot on one of them. So I was waiting for that BRDM to come around. It's been camping the top left corner of the map all day.
Oh yeah, he is dead.
They turned Boston out. They might try to use the gun on it for some long-range support, but the render range is going to be a bit tough. Command is about to double tap. There's Frost double tapping Boston. His body.
Did you see that?
I guess Boston made a deal with the devil, which is why he was able to sneak up behind OPFOR, and I guess the devil just decided to collect the body. I've never seen that before. Okay. Arma's a perfectly wonderful game with a lot of cool features.
It's October, dude.
It's spooky month. It is the spooky month. You're right. So anyway, the GREENFOR fire team that was up at Site 1 has looped back around, trying to shoot in the back of OPFOR here. They're not getting much. Nemesis still alive, though. Could do a lot of damage with that marksman rifle. Meanwhile, OPFOR have bum-rushed the church with the BTR and some dismounts, but a lot of those dismounts are down, which is unfortunate. Still 3 guys are dropped in, though. That's bigger than the 2 guys defending. Yeah, just a bum rush is all they really need. They even have an AFK guy on the roof. He decides to get off. Amazing. But yeah, I mean,
an amazing hold. Look at all the dead Russians in front.
Yep, because the BTR pushed in and rushed. But let's see, 3 of those. That's another down guy again, because GREENFOR has a few nice dismounted positions here. We also have the other marksman here. Major East from the looks of it, trying to pop some grenades in there, but the BTR is returning fire, taking some GLs from the red brick building behind it. But if OPFOR were to push in more guys, I mean, they could have easily rushed that area. But yeah, you've got OPFOR's right side pincer now closing, and Independent, they're still sticking to their battle line strategy. Now we'll see in about a minute if this is a 50-minute or an hour-long mission. I'm gonna bet 50-minute though. Meanwhile, Nemesis, he's trying to, oh, wait, no, Nemesis is flanking around. The team he was with is all down. But yeah, he's gonna, again, try to get behind OPFOR and get some licks in from angles that they're not at. So it's a good call there. But I'm not sure it'll be enough, all things considered. OPFOR, meanwhile, still stopped at the church here. We have the BTR 70 engaging the BTR 80. The gun is completely out of position, and the driver, the gunner, just went unconscious there. Plouffe, I believe, is the one driving it back. So it looks like that 70's trying to push its advantage here.
BTR. It's pushing up on the GREENFOR BTR. Doesn't have a gunner, but it's just driving. Oh, it had its shield open. The driver's down.
Oh, yeah, that driver's dead. He put the shield out. That's unfortunate. But OPFOR RPG just came in.
The turret?
OPFOR just annihilated the BTR 70 for GREENFOR. And there's the 15 minutes remaining strat. Look at all the dead guys in the back of that BTR 80 for Red 4 too. Again, they tried to do a rush, but it wasn't the best strategy there. OPFOR, meanwhile, pushing a guy in. Unfortunately, he loses the one-on-one fight, heavily hurting Carpenter in here. But this other OPFOR guy, East, he needs to push in. But OPFOR...
Carpenter's new rank, by the way. He's no longer a captain contractor. He's 0th lieutenant.
0th lieutenant. I love it. I love it. So, there's the 70 getting cooked BTR, off. Because, again, OPFOR is basically rushing this position. And GREENFOR is starting to send teams in, but they have so many guys just out of position in the far town area. I mean, these guys all have iron sights and shit, right? Yeah, so it's not the most effective place to be in. Again, GREENFOR's unit deployment has been very confusing, in my opinion. We're going to have Tarnfalk breach in here. Saw some movement down there. That was just his marksman. Throws a grenade in.
Oh,
it's going to land perfectly in front of Carpenter. Not sure if it wounded him or all, because the blood's going under the textures onto the ground. But looking at that blood, there is a lot of it. And he is bleeding again from those grenades. Yeah, so GL's trying to be popped in, but it's falling in the minimum det distance. So they will not go off.
He's gonna need to back up more from the door. Oh,
ooh, a nasty keyhole by Carpenter there, off of one of the pillars and the doorway. Good shot, but now he's got a lot more OPFOR guys that are gonna know he's in there.
Oh, yep, this is the siege. And
he loses.
Yep.
So here's the deal.
He should have stanced out instead of moved out.
Yeah, right. But stances are actually a lot more of an advanced topic than you'd think for
oh, they're so useful.
Stuff like this.
One of the things that I just love about Arma when I go to other games that it doesn't have.
Definitely.
I gotta like fucking finagle around and look out a window. It's so frustrating.
So by the way, side note, Nemesis is on 3 kills, getting some nice shots in the back line, but OPFOR is going to quickly reposition here, knowing that they only have less than 13 minutes to get the next objective. Where are their transports? All right, so we have some back here. They're going to be loaded with OPFOR guys, and I think OPFOR is just going to try to bum rush it because of that time.
Is a luxury they can afford.
The issue with Independent, though, is they have set up for a very extended siege here through the forest and whatnot, and honestly, a lot of the Independent forces are going to be caught out of position when OPFOR pulls around, because I'm willing to bet OPFOR is going to go to point 276 and climb up the hill. That closer position right at the northern base of Terminal 3's hill will be able to intercept, but the far northern group is going to quickly find itself out of position. Again, that's why I'm not really liking Independent strategy, but I mean, it's still anyone's game. Casualties on both sides have been relatively light, though OPFOR has suffered a bit more, but the way Independent has their forces separated, it could still go either way.
And GREENFOR is doing a good job of delaying them. We have Santos way over on the far left, shooting at them with a PKP, and about 400 meters away. Maybe scoring some hits, maybe not, but in any case, it's suppressing them and making them stop and think about their surroundings, which is just eating up with that time, and that's all that they have to do at this point. I think that they are pretty well outnumbered, so it's just it is a matter of time, in the most literal sense.
Well, another thing I want to point out is the tactics. OPFOR has been very unified. OPFOR's been very unified on 2 separate flanks as 2 major forces at a time to get things done in a variety of pincer strategies. Independent, all of their teams are super spread out. The most condensed group I see right now is Charlie at the northern base of the area, but it looks like they have the entirety of Bravo defending as well. Everyone else has just been very sporadic, and I think they're just going to be caught out of position as OPFOR is now remounting their VIX and is more than likely going to make a push. But OPFOR is going to probably have a transportation issue here, because I am not seeing a lot of vehicles around, and they're going to need them to push around. Actually, I stand corrected. Looks like Lcpl has found a GREENFOR transport VIC, and they're going to, it's a Euro, so they're going to load up in that, and again, just push to the final objective as best they can, because that's all they can really get at this point. You see some Independent guys trying to close the gap, but OPFOR has to be quick here to make this play. Now, if there was like another 15-20 minutes, I could see the defensive lines that Independents made work really well in ambush strategies, but because of this 10-minute timer, you're going to see OPFOR be a lot more aggressive with their pushing and remounting, and a lot of these Independent guys are going to be completely caught out of position. We already see it. This one Gaz is pushing away super quick.
I think that they waited too long for that terminal to go off. They had a decent perimeter going, and they should have sent, I think, like half of their people to go ahead and get to transport or load up.
Ooh, transport truck just got hit with an RPG, but still alive. He hit the rear part of the tarp. Nothing major just happened there.
No, I think all the infantry are fine as well. None of them seem to be slumped over.
Yep. I mean,
passenger might be, but these bullets aren't going to help that situation.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know where that truck's driving. He's driving like the worst, but like, why are you driving over there?
I think they didn't think about this railway.
This is going to be huge though, because this is such a big force. In that, actually, how many people are in there?
It's about a dozen, I think. Oh, there goes the engine.
Engine just got shot out. These guys are dead.
It's a kill zone. Oh, they're jumping right into the fire.
Oh my god.
They've actually ran out of ammo. They're reloading, so they're gonna have a chance to escape. Then they're returning fire. Pop and smoke. This is exactly what they need to do.
This is the thing GREENFOR wanted. It's gonna catch a lot of OPFOR guys out of position. You see a big grenade spam being done, but I don't know why OPFOR. That was a really bad idea. That's exactly what GREENFOR wanted, and OPFOR just gave it to him. Completely.
Yeah, they need to push this now. They don't have time to stay here. They got a couple kills, but they need to push back in.
Yeah, no, but GREENFOR just lost a significant chunk of its manpower for the final push, and now it's going to be more even in the final fight, all because of a miscoordination here. And at the same time, you still have a lot of OPFOR guys back at the second AO, not remounted yet.
What they needed to do was they needed to take that MI8 and load it up.
Oh yeah, load up in the MI8 and go deploy real close by.
Perfect clearing just west-southwest of Terminal 3 that's concealed from the actual objective and is perfectly open and flat.
Well, the issue with that one, though, is what if the enemy, like, rushes a BRDM or something to it? You want to have a vehicle over scouted out first, and then you can do the landing, but that's what the BRDMs are for.
Or they could do a pass over.
Look at this
and see,
fucking massacre.
See if there's anything there, and if they don't see anything there, then take a landing. And Squad should have AT.
Jeez, this was second platoon here. They did not.
They got chewed up and spit out.
That was not a good idea to rush in one vehicle into a blind area. We have the luxury of knowing where all the independent guys are, sure, but
oh
man,
someone just got friendly fired. One of the Delta guys that was behind that hit it with the truck with a rocket just got domed by GREENFOR to his southwest.
Now we have another OPFOR team dismounting a little to the right. That sucks about the friendly fire, though. They're running into a GREENFOR team.
Coolbees took him out with the PKM.
But OPFOR's kind of lost all their coordination here because I would have to say it's the timer making them freak out and just go in small groups. But because Independent's been so defensive with their units, now they're at full strength, and the strategy they have is actually working now because OPFOR separated out so much.
Yeah, they did not coordinate this push at all.
Hey, are you watching Myers right now on that southern flank?
Myers on the southern
The dude just fired like 5 RPGs at once. It was amazing.
Huh.
It's an audio glitch with the launcher, but wow. All right, so anyway, BRDM pulling around, getting some hits on the rear, knocking 2 dudes out. Helicopters trying to fly in. We have another group that's dismounted, though, but that many guys to how many independent guys are going to have to take on is going to be tough.
Tell me, man, Spearhead. Focus that power and strike to a specific point. And I'm just making up words now.
I know you are. It's okay. OPFOR, I mean, they're fielding in some troops here. They could still potentially get this. They got another truck coming around, but 5 minutes remaining. It's gonna be close, but OPFOR could still clutch this.
Yeah, you have the helicopter now suppressing that general area.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do too much of that PKM or PKT that it's mounted to the side, but it's.
I think it needs to fly a little closer. I know Homebrew, he's good at flying, but he needs to be a little more aggressive with that unit tactic here, because otherwise he's not going to get much done. Meanwhile, looking back, we got. Sorry, go ahead.
Henderson is in the bathroom at Terminal 3, just having to sit down, just chilling.
Are you telling me we have soldiers in the shitter too, Electric Boogaloo?
Possibly yes. Although
amazing.
It's shitter adjacent. It's the sink room and the toilet.
He's in the sink, just chilling. I love it.
No, I need you to come check this out because this toilet room doesn't make any goddamn sense.
What the Oh, hey, it's the Soviet. You watch other people take a shit. It's fine. It's fine.
You must keep eye on comrade at all times, even when shitting might be capitalist spy. And
you never know.
Secret camera out of anus.
So, by the way, GREENFOR BRDM was just destroyed down the hill, up the hill. First groups of OPFOR have pushed in. They're fighting with some of the outskirt forces of GREENFOR. If GREENFOR keeps attacking in only defending in small waves, OPFOR could actually beat them back, but the fortifications that GREENFOR has dug here with those E-tools and grad trenches is proving useful and giving these GREENFOR guys a little bit more survivability. 3 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. More OPFOR reinforcements being brought in, but you're seeing this massive wave of independent forces come as well to the final objective. This is going to be neck and neck, but OPFOR needs to... Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is actually very disappointing for this Red 4 push. They've been very well battered. Still some survivors, and Charlie's moving into position a bit closer to the flank now.
Oh my Let's go!
Still a chance, but this
Okay.
is...
Real quick. I gotta point this out. So there's a firefight. You have Nielsen for GREENFOR. He threw a grenade so accurately on Rust here. The grenade literally bounced off of Rust.
It bonked on his helmet.
It bonked on his helmet. That was beautiful. Oh, and Rust just got headshotted.
Well, that's another bounce to the head and a lot more lethal.
It was a quicker bounce that went through the brain instead. Meanwhile, OPFOR dismount next to that blown out BTR. They're gonna try to remount and probably push up. Less than 3 minutes remaining though. They need to move quickly, but they can still beat out the entirety of independent forces still pushing in. But that OPFOR push, it's down to 4 guys. It's not GG yet, but it's very, very close. Random explosive trap going off because it's not useful anymore.
I was gonna say it's probably on a timer.
Possibly. We got some OPFOR guys pushing up to the perimeter here, but the actual building's garrison, even though they're a little exposed right there, they're able to sweep things out. We just had Mosh stand up and get another kill, but he's now in a fight with Platoon 1 HQ, Iceberg. Iceberg switching to his pistol. Yes! Reloading is always quicker. Switching your handgun's always quicker than reloading, but unfortunately he's going to get pushed by Nielsen.
Oh, and here's the red forward push that might it's gonna.
We have Marco the Mat Gunner. He's pulling out the RPG. Oh, a beautiful shot in the top right window. We actually killed someone with it. Nice.
Yeah.
But he was just knocked unconscious.
About Nemesis. Nemesis is still alive. He has 4 kills.
Nemesis is all the way on the top, but he's way out of play here. He's not going to be useful for anything, unfortunately. But
nah, there's not enough time.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. A few more GREENFOR guys out and about holding the line. We got Mito, the only guy. Actually, no, Carlson's also alive. We have Command Euro pushing up on the northern flank. Only has a handful of dudes, though. They're going to be quickly shot up by a guy.
Mito's holding out in the forest. He's missing his shots.
And we have another command vehicle being driven in, but it was being fired at by its own helicopter. I don't see it. I don't see OPFOR getting in here in the next 50 seconds and touching the terminal. I think this is GG.
Oh no. Jamadia, open fire. That is not your man. And there he goes.
Aye. So again, good push, but honestly, if OPFOR had another minute or two, then the GREENFOR QRF, like even if they took the terminal, GREENFOR QRF would be right on top of them, and I think it would just go back to GREENFOR. So I'm annoyed that Independent won this round because I hated the strategy they had, but and the only reason it worked was because second platoon of OPFOR decided to drive in the worst area possible. And there it goes. It's 10 seconds early, but
approximate overtime.
We might see overtime, but I doubt it. Just because of the sheer amount of forces coming in, and the helicopter just bailed and blew itself up.
Marhaba.
But at least Potato survived.
Oh wow. And landed on the soft wheat fields of Eastern Europe.
If this goes into overtime, I'm gonna laugh at Homebrew.
It's in overtime. It says approximate overtime.
Well, yeah, it automatically goes in there, but it's FNF admin's decision if we go into overtime. It's possible, but honestly, with the wave of independent forces about to come in here, I don't see a point.
Mm-hmm.
I say we just honor it and move on to the next round, but I think it's also because there's a lot of maneuvering that round, and they want these guys to kill each other to at least have that satisfaction.
Yeah, that's fair. We have Night Owl and Bridges having a one-on-one.
Yeah, it's the Chernorussia Daisy map.
Move, trying to get out.
And Iota, glad to see you there. I'll see you there.
To change his mag. GG Independent from our core. Come on, Bridges. Oh, and there it is.
Yep, that's an indie win. They're calling it now just because the sheer amount of independent guys on Terminal 3. We'll see the next round in a second. There it is. But overall, I'd say great round. A few oofs on both sides, but...